Welcome to the third and final video for our sexual harassment training. This training series started with defining sexual harassment and explaining how it can negatively impact individuals and companies. We discussed how the law focuses on the perception of the individual being harassed, not the intentions of the person committing harassment. In the second episode, you heard different examples of sexual harassment and also learned about the impact of power dynamics and how an imbalance of power can create a ripe environment for sexual harassment. In today's video, we want to explore best practices for preventing harassment. When done well, boundaries protect the integrity of the workplace and ensure everyone has the best possible chance to thrive in a professional environment. They also signal to would-be harassers and abusers that inappropriate behaviors have no place at Jack Cooper. Be the example of setting safe and appropriate boundaries for you and your team. This will help mitigate situations where sexual harassment often occurs. Here are some best practices. Limit or avoid physical contact. It is best to avoid physical contact such as massaging, hugging, or hovering over someone in close proximity. Avoid commenting on others' appearance, positively or negatively. Avoid humor that involves sexuality, gender, race, religion, or other legally protected categories. If you are not sure if a joke is appropriate, chances are it isn't. More harm is done saying the joke than not saying it. Limit social interaction outside of work, particularly one-on-one interaction. This includes face-to-face interactions, but also includes texting and use of social media. Be familiar with Jack Cooper's policies, including its policy on harassment and sexual harassment, which is found in Section 4.3 of the Employee Handbook. Additionally, Section 3.15 of our Employee Handbook addresses relationship of coworkers that cause a conflict of interest. If a romantic relationship develops between coworkers, especially a supervisor and direct report, you should immediately consult with a member of HR to see if a conflict of interest has been created and the best path forward to avoid a conflict or potential for sexual harassment. Now let's turn to some healthy practices that we can encourage. First, if one-on-one meetings are necessary, make sure to set up protections to ensure the comfort of both participants. Two good boundaries are ensuring the meeting is interruptible, meaning someone could interrupt at any time, and observable, meaning that others can observe the meeting, such as meeting in a conference room with glass windows or an office with an open door. Second, create a culture of speaking up if something seems off, not a culture of silence. If you are not sure about a situation, always err on the side of contacting a member of HR. Third, be mindful that innocent interactions can 1. Be perceived differently by others, or 2. Create an open door for sexual abusers and predators to capitalize on a workplace with limited or no boundaries. While our company does perform background checks, abusers who have never been caught can slip in undetected into any workplace. A lack of boundaries creates a ripe environment for them to commit intentional abuse or harassment. Do not help abusers by creating an environment where boundaries are ignored. Finally, ensure your focus is always in the right place, on the comfort of those around you. One of the most common complaints about sexual harassment training is, I can't do or say anything these days without someone being offended. Whose perspective is this comment focused on? Self. How does preventing harassment impact what I can say or do? What if, instead of focusing on self, we focused on ensuring our coworkers are able to thrive at Jack Cooper without being weighed down by the isolation and hurt that comes from insensitive comments, jokes, and behaviors? Or how does my behavior communicate that our team and company respects boundaries and that predatory and abusive behaviors will not be tolerated? What if our focus were on others, not self? We hope this training has given you a renewed perspective. From this training, you can tell that we take this topic very seriously. If you were to experience sexual harassment at work, you have several options to report an incident. You can call the HR Let Us Know line at 816-983-5084, email hrcommunications@jackcooper.com, contact our partner Lighthouse Reporting by calling 855-400-7008, or contact a member of the HR team. If someone reports a sexual harassment incident to you, please report to a member of HR as soon as possible. While we hope these situations don't occur, our team is here to support if they do. Thank you for taking the time to have this conversation, and thank you for your efforts to continue to make Jack Cooper a great place to work.